right, folks, good evening to everybody. Welcome to DuePoint. Welcome to everyone on our live stream. So the people on the live stream, why don't you give me some feedback in the chat as to what you think of the quality of the live stream. So we've done some fiddling with the technical stuff in the background. Those of our wealth engineers hosting people on the live stream tell us what the feed looks like. I'm not allowed to step here, so if you look at me step into the picture, you'll probably see me disappear behind a magic screen. So I've got my little tape marks here. I'm not allowed to step out of those boundaries. Anyway, so good evening again. My name's Rob van der Bijl. I'm one of the executives here at DuePoint. I'm going to be spending usually it's 35 minutes, but this evening will be a little longer because we have a special format that we do once a month called Tell All Tuesday, straight from the wealth engineer's mouth, where we have the fortune of inviting some of our wealth engineers up onto stage this evening to share their testimony and their experience of what it's really like to be a wealth engineer. Because as a guest in this presentation, you will have certain aspirations and ideas of what this business could be about, but it's very important for us to bring real people up onto stage. There's always people that are streaming us in the seats. I'll never know why. I'm standing right here. You can come touch me if you really want to. And so it's so important for us to bring real people up onto stage. It's almost a true review of our business. You know, when you go to take a lot and you're interested in buying a product, you go check the reviews out before you buy anything, right? And so we've got hundreds of testimonies available for you to go watch on YouTube. But this evening we're lucky to be having two fresh new wealth engineers onto stage. And then we've got a surprise guest right at the end who's going to tell us about conquering one of the biggest challenges in this business that can set you up literally as a millionaire within a year in this business if you want to tackle that challenge. All right, so let's begin. As you can see, we're a very small light writing there. We're a division of another company called Constantia Insurance Company Limited. Constantia is a registered insurance company in South Africa. We've been around for a very long time, for nearly 70 years. And I'll get on to a little more about Constantia at the end of the presentation. But understand that DuePoint is a fairly new business. We've been in business for almost exactly 3 years. So we were launched in February 2016. Now I want to give you just a little bit of background about how this business came into being so that you've got some context to the relevance of this business. And I think we are a very relevant business. So there's the couple of factors that came together. One of the biggest ones is economic and risk factors that come into play. And that's from our perspective as well as your perspective. So from your point of view, I would imagine that the number one necessity, the number one reason you're watching this presentation is because you're interested in making additional income, right? And that's the economic factor. The need behind that, the necessity behind that is often driven by the risk factors that we all become prone to. So if you look at the economy, you look at the job market, you will know that it is rife with risk, and those come in all shapes and sizes, and we're trying to mitigate that risk as much as possible, or at least you trying to, through perhaps what this business can offer you. One of the biggest factors for us was social entrepreneurship. So we refer some to it as social impact. This is one of the biggest aspirations we have as executives and staff in this business, is the ability for this business to change people's lives. So we want to have real impact on the community that we work within, and it goes beyond just having a CSI program that most corporates have. We want to partner with individuals where the end result is creating people and families that can deem themselves wealthy in this business, and that's one of the aims that we have in the business. And then better distribution. So this is a business reason. I'm someone that's worked in advertising and marketing and branding for 25 years, and traditional forms of marketing and advertising are becoming less effective every year. People are trusting advertising less and less as we go on. And so one of the channels that or at least the way to develop channels of distribution for us, what we've adopted from a marketing point of view is referral marketing, word of mouth marketing, or network marketing. They're all pretty much the same thing, but it's the opportunity for people to come help us build our business, to build our brand in South Africa, and that's when you come in. This is what I'm being told to step to the right. I'm not allowed to swing my arm either. And that's the proposition we're going to make, because this presentation is a business proposition. I want you to weigh it up as you would any business proposition. And so I think most importantly for me is to go through the benefits of this business. So what does the proposition really entail? When I say to you that we invite people to come join us in a partnership in this business, what I'm asking you to do is consider joining us in this business. And what you mandated with, so your task in this business would be to build what we call channels of distribution. I'll show you what one of those look like. But it is basically you just going out and referring people to DuePoint. It's as simple as that. If you went to a good movie or to a good restaurant, you would tell people that you knew or bumped into that you went to a good movie or a good restaurant. We want you to do exactly the same thing here to DuePoint. So your mandate is quite simple. We've tried to make it as simple as possible, but we've extended this partnership to you where you almost benefit with a royalty that we get to pay you. So the primary benefit for you is additional income. But the nature of the income is very important, and this is where you have to be discerning, because if you're looking at other business opportunities, I can tell you that the majority of them don't offer recurring income, because this is something that's typically inherent to insurance companies, which is a great benefit because we're not constrained to time or geography in this business. As an income earner, if you are a salaried income earner, or even if you have a small business or medium-sized business, you're often constrained by time, right? You can ask yourself the question, what happens if you don't go to work next month? Do you get paid income? You don't, right? What happens if you get sick and you use all your sick leave and you're still bedridden? Do you get paid an income? Right? Retrenched? No income. Retired? No income. These are forms of income that are constrained to the time that we have to put in to earn income. And it is problematic because, as I said in the beginning, it's rife with all these risk factors that we have to deal with. Here at DuePoint, we don't pay you for your time. We pay you for the channel of distribution that you help us build here at DuePoint, right? And so that separates you from all those risk factors. And it is a very important form of income. So be very aware of that. Power duplication, it's your ability to go build a team around you that can help you build your channel of distribution that much greater and that much faster. In other words, your recurring income can grow accordingly. Our business is FlexiTime. The technology that we've imposed here at DuePoint allows you to build a channel of distribution from your mobile phone. Simple as that. You're not constrained by geography or time. Again, you can build your business anywhere in the country at any time of the day. It's that simple. Open your app and make money from your app. There is no startup capital. So when we speak about social entrepreneurship or social impact, I can't stand up here and propose a business to you that has massive risk attached to it. Imagine I said to you, oh, we've got a wonderful franchise opportunity here. Just pay your 25,000 Rand before you leave if you're interested. Right? In what reality do people have that liberty to spend 25,000 Rand to risk on a business that they're going to try? Right? And so we've purposely designed our business to have a very low barrier to entry, so very little risk, so that you have the opportunity to even consider the business without any fear of losing anything. At the same time, we don't have qualifications or experience requirements. We're trying to make this business as accessible to as many people as possible. You get to build an asset. Now, this ties very closely in with recurring income, because we spoke about all those risk factors that we're all prone to. Here at DuePoint, this channel of distribution that you're building is treated as an asset. You have legal tender over your channel of distribution. That means you can sell your channel of distribution. If it's producing 10, 20, or even 5,000 Rand a month, that's a lot of value that that asset has. You have the ability to sell it for whatever reason you might have. And assets don't retire you. They don't retrench you. They don't stop paying when you're a pensioner. It's like having a second house. Who would like to own 2 houses? Right? That's a dream of mine. I'd love to have a few houses, right? I always say to my wife, you should buy a second house. That would be great. Because you would have this annuity income that comes in every month, right? It doesn't retire you. It doesn't retrench you. It can pay you until your death. And what happens to assets when you die? Do they disappear into a black hole? They don't. You actually have developed wealth through this asset that you get to pass on to your beneficiaries. You will be one of the very few people in South Africa that actually gets to pass wealth on to the next generation. Right? There's a tiny amount of people that actually get to do that, and you get to build legacy here at DuePoint. And so my question always to people is, are you going to carry on working the 45 years that you are going to spend working for somebody else with nothing to show for it when you get to retirement? Over 90% of South Africans can't afford to retire. Or do we start sacrificing time and focusing on building an asset that actually has real tangible value? Something we can show, something that we can be proud of, right? And so I'm hoping people will be willing to sacrifice time in building a channel of distribution here at DuePoint. There's absolutely no selling required in our business. This is a wonderful thing. How many salespeople are in the room? I'm always interested. Not even one this evening. You're all lying to me. I know there's one or two of you. One or two of you, right? There's a very small percentage of people that consider themselves salespeople. So we've created a business that requires no selling. All you have to do is go out and tell people about the business. You literally have to go to someone and say, spare 35 minutes of your life. No obligation. Come look at this presentation. You decide whether it's something you might be interested in or not. What do you have to lose? Right? And so all you're going to be doing is connecting people. But the nature of our products are also beneficial because we have financially natured products. It means they're not tangible products. It means no one is going home with boxes of product this evening. Who brought a bucky tonight? Who's got stock in their garage right now of product that they need to sell? Anyone? Right. You know about it. You know the problems that it comes with distribution and stock. You've got to order from head office. You've got to pick it up. It's got to get delivered. It is painful. We don't have any of those problems. And so our products in themselves are very convenient when building a business here at DuePoint. But your success is still very much predicated on your ability to build this thing called the channel of distribution. Right? You're going to hear, if you become a wealth engineer, you will hear about channels of distribution because this is what we're going to be focused on. It begins with you. You become a wealth engineer and a product owner here at DuePoint, and now you are faced with the task of connecting people. And so you'll go out and speak to people. And in this example, we've got 5 people that have joined because of your efforts. Right? And this is the beginning of your channel of distribution. Right? We afford those people that became wealth engineers because of you the same opportunity to build their own channels. But what they inherently do is they help you. So now they're collaborating with you in creating your channel of distribution. And this is where the power of duplication lies. You want to leverage this as much as possible, right? Because there's the potential of exponential growth if you can get your duplication right. And this is what a channel of distribution looks like. You're potentially being paid for every single dot you see on the screen every single month. Right? And this is what our focus is. This is the asset that you're going to be building. This is what creates recurring income here at DuePoint. So exactly how do we pay people here at DuePoint? So this is the mechanics of the returns. We pay a base return fee of R27.50 for every product in your channel. Right? So it depends on where that product lies in relation to you. So remember the first 5 people that you introduced to DuePoint, we call that your first point. And on your first point, we actually pay you double the R27.50. So you're earning R55 for every product on your first point. So if you had 10 people on your first point, you're earning R550 every single month in recurring income. All right, that's R6,000 a year. Who got a R6,000 bonus this month? No one? Okay, I've got a good audience. Necessity. I've got a captive audience, right? And then as those people go out and connect other people, they build your second point. And on your second point, again, you get paid R55. And so it goes without saying, if you had 100 people on your first and second point, suddenly you're generating $5,500 a month out of your channel, right? And those people on the second point are going to connect other people. Everyone joining this business is joining to become wealth engineers, right? And so as your channel grows, you see that multiplier then starts to drop all the way to the 8th point. But we don't stop you at the 8th point, right? You see the little plus there next to the 8? That means we will carry on paying you 4% of the R27.50 in theory to infinity. There is no limit on the size of your channel here at DuePoint. There's no limit to how much money you can earn at DuePoint. It is the responsibility falls squarely on your shoulders. You want a bigger business? Put more people onto your first point. And have the patience to let your channel duplicate, right? This business is all about time and numbers. I always say it, it's about time and numbers. Can anyone manipulate time? No, so don't worry about the time. Have the patience to let time do its own thing. Take care of the numbers. That's the one thing you can control. You want more people? Put more people in. Your channel will grow accordingly. But people still want to know, well, how much effort is really required to build this business? How much money can I earn? People have different aspirations or necessity in your life. I've been told that March, April, and May are called the debt hangover months by debt collectors. It is the busiest time of the year for debt collectors. Why? Because everyone overspends, probably from the end of November. What were we all doing at the end of November? Black Friday, right? That's where it starts. Our economy is driven by consumerism, right? That's the truth. And then it's December, then January we realize we don't have money and we start defaulting on payments. And then February, the letters come and the phone calls come. And the next 3 months, the debt collectors start doing some work in our country. I don't want anyone at DuePoint to experience a debt hangover month, right? Our aspiration in this business is to get people to become completely debt-free. Debt-free. Imagine what that feels like when you don't have one debit order going off your bank account. Imagine that. No one can imagine it. You're looking at me blankly like, I don't know what that means. Not a single debit order, right? What, is it nearly the end of the month? Oh yeah, those debit orders are coming. You're going to be very popular on your phone in the next couple of days when it starts beeping and binging. You want 2 good SMSs. You want your salary being paid, and the bank says your salary's just been paid, and then you want another SMS saying DuePoint's just paid a return into your bank account, right? And when you don't have any debit orders, the world becomes your oyster. That's what real liberty is all about, right? So let's take a look at what activity is required. So what we've done here is we've created a projection over the next 5 years, so 60 months. This will take you to about R1 million in annual recurring income at DuePoint. The activity required goes like this. So in your first month, if you can connect 3 people successfully onto your first point, that'll get you qualified to start earning in this business. And then every consecutive month thereafter, you only have to connect 2 people a month. 2 people a month. It is anything but onerous. We've got people that do 2 a day, right? So if we say 2 a month, it's not a lot of work. But if you can consistently do this, after about 6 months, you'll be doing about 2,500 rand a month. We always use this point as a lesson because I fall prey to this all the time, and that's thinking like a consumer. If you give me 2,500 rand, I know exactly how I'm going to spend it. I've got a whole list of things why I deserve to spend the 2,500 rand if I suddenly have a 2,500 rand windfall, right? And I expect that most of us do. Imagine I put 2,500 rand under your seats tonight. It was your lucky tell-all Tuesday evening. You felt under the seat, 2.5 grand. Jeez, these guys are generous. And you put it into your wallet or into your handbag. How long would it last? It's Tuesday night. It's Tuesday night. How long would the money last? It's the end of February. It's hangover month. On Friday, how long does the money last honestly? Think about it. Right? And this is how we think as consumers. This is how we feel when we're in a debt cycle. And everyone's in a debt cycle. We get statistics constantly from the FSB, the now called the FSCA, that paint a picture of what personal finance looks like in the lives of South Africans. And we are constantly in debt. Right? And so we will spend the money, but very few of us look at the money and go, how do I leverage that money to make more money? Who thought about that? Who thought, oh, if you give me that 2,500 rand, I'm going to turn it to 5. Right? Or in this example, we turn it to 900,000 rand after 11 and a half years. Because if you put that money into a bond, this example, we've got a 1 million rand bond, instead of taking 20 years to pay the bond off, extra 20%. That extra 2,500 rand that you put into your bond repayment will allow you to pay that house off in nearly half the time and save you nearly 900,000 rand in interest. Very few people do that. When I say very few, maybe 1 in 10,000. Right? The language here at DuePoint is all about wealth creation. Get rid of your debt. It is the stepping stone to becoming wealthy. At 12 months, you're already earning 9,000 rand a month. That's in excess of 100,000 rand annually. And the number's just going to get bigger. After 2 years, you're close to 28,000 rand. After 3 years, remember you're doing 2 people every single month, 2 new people onto your first point, you're close to 50,000 rand. After 4 years, you're going to be close to 70,000 rand. And after 16 months, 5 years. Is 5 years a long time? No, it's a flash in the pan. After 5 years of consistently doing this business, 2 people onto your first point every single month, you're going to be close to 85,000 rand a year, which is R1 million annually. I always wondered this question. At what point in this projection can you tell your boss what you really think about them? Who's at liberty to tell their boss what they really think about them? When you go, fire me, I dare you. Right? You can only do that when an asset is paying you real money on the side. And that's what liberty is all about. But you can argue with me and say, well, Rob, that's a lovely projection. It's all theoretical. It is. It is an academic projection, right? And that's why an evening like this is so important, that we're able to bring real people up onto stage that are doing the business so that you can see the person. and understand what their experiences are. And they don't tell us what they're going to say when they get onto stage. So I always get a little bit nervous about what they might say. And I'm happy for them to tell you the good and the bad, because I want you to have a realistic picture of what entrepreneurship is about. People often make the mistake of romanticizing entrepreneurship. So our first wealth engineer is Elaine. Elaine has been in the business for 6 months. Elaine, come join me.
Cheers, sir.
Woo! There you go. Elaine's a little bit nervous, not too nervous. So Elaine's been in the business for 6 months. The value of her channel sitting at about 2,500 Rand. She's personally put in 19 people over the 6 months. That is translated into 47 people in her channel, right? So that's the duplication that you see in a short space of 6 months. She's 4 points. Her channel's 4 points in size, and so this is a great beginning to building recurring income here at DuePoint. So Elaine's from Pretoria, so not too far a drive to get here to Joburg. Elaine, tell us, and this is a question I always ask every wealth engineer, I want to know what your experience was when you joined DuePoint. Who cornered you in the shop or at the water machine, or how did it all unfold that you came to know DuePoint and then you ended up becoming a DuePoint wealth engineer?
Good evening, everyone. Sorry. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the DuePoint team for allowing me this evening to do my testimony.
Pleasure.
My testimony is quite different. I was not approached. It's the other way around. I was involved in another network marketing business. So my journey began on the 9th of August last year. I was on Facebook and I approached this lady, Sis Pumi, who was going all about going to Mauritius and Mauritius this, Mauritius that, and I was like, here's my target. So then I inboxed her and I said, I see that you like traveling and I would like to introduce this business to you, and the table stand. Then she spoke about DuePoint, and I was like, okay, let me just listen to what she has to say about DuePoint, then I can explain, my side of the story. And then the first thing I asked her was like, how much is it? Because every network marketing, there's a price.
Yeah.
And she was like, it's $299. And I was like, $299 for what? And she's like, no, there's products, there's funeral cover, whatnot. And I was like, okay. And then I was in the process of taking out the funeral cover anyway. So I was like, okay, let me just do this. Let me take the funeral cover, and then she will also join my network marketing. So I signed up immediately, and I think it was after day, I signed up 2 people.
Wow, okay, great.
And then in the first 2 weeks, I was on 3 people. And then when I started receiving my first income in October.
Okay.
Yes, was it
September. October, yeah.
I was like, wow, this is real. And then
people are always surprised when we pay them.
Yes, and I mean, I was so excited, and I started to do this business, starting approaching people from my previous network marketing, and they were all like, oh no, you again, And they were like, no, we don't want to specifically. One lady over here, she was like, Elaine, you in your pyramid schemes, please, no. But eventually she came on board, and that's how my journey started at DuePoint.
Okay, and how did your impression change of the business from when you decided to join, even if it was just to appease Pumi? I'll show you yours if you show me mine, if I can show you mine. But how did that unfold? So what has it actually been like to be a wealth engineer for the last 6 months and try build income? Was it what you expected?
Most definitely. I must be honest, DuePoint is actually the first. I was involved in 2 other network marketing companies, and all I did every month was spending money. And with DuePoint is the other way around. I earn the income.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, because that ticks the box of social impact, because that's really what we want to achieve. Okay, and your aspirations going into this business, so I know motivation is a big part of the business, because in entrepreneurship, you have to be accountable to yourself. And what goes with that is some aspiration that drives you to do this business. So give us a picture of what you want to achieve, ideally, out of this business.
Okay, what I want to achieve in this business, first of all, is to become stay-at-home parent, number one.
Me too.
And 3 properties. And be financially independent.
Awesome. And what does that actually mean to you, to be financially independent?
Not having to worry about debit orders going off, not having money after payday, 2 days after payday, and not having to worry about waking up early in the morning and sitting in traffic. And
I feel you. I also sit in traffic. And how quickly do you think DuePoint can get you to a point where you can stay at home?
2 years, if not less.
Awesome. There we go. Something that we certainly appreciate when we get involved as wealth engineers in this business is just the beauty of teamwork. Like, if you can leverage teamwork to your advantage in this business, it makes a massive difference in building value. So tell us about your team, or at least if you just want to give a shout out to your team, now is your opportunity.
Okay, to my team members, Spoo, Sarah, Noni, Shireen, Denver in Eastern Cape. Always remember your why you joined DuePoint. Never give up, keep pushing, keep connecting. You'll get there one day.
Awesome. Thanks, Elaine. So I hope that gave you some insight as to what being a wealth engineer is all about. As I said, we've got hundreds of testimonies on YouTube for you to free to just go look at, right? And we've got people that have been in the business for over 2 years, people that started on day one in the business. We've got wealth engineers that have got businesses that are 30 points deep already. It is a wide spectrum of individuals, but you're at liberty. Every single person sitting here today is at liberty to decide what they want out of this business. You all have different aspirations, but you can choose what you want, because the system is identical for everybody, yet everyone's doing a different thing, right? And so you don't have to be dictated to in this business. Right? At work, you get dictated to. When your boss says there are no increases this year, you go, thanks for not retrenching me. Right? Isn't that so? Yeah. Exactly. In this business, you're free to give yourself a raise every single month, which is crazy. It belies the economy. Anyway, so as I said, we've got thousands of people in this business that join every single month, and everybody is different. Everyone's running a different race, different aspirations, different motivation, different work ethic. Decide what you want out of this business. It is up to you. All right, on top of the returns program, we've got the rewards program. So not only do you get to earn an income every single month here at DuePoint, but we have a rewards program. The rewards program is built out of all these ranks. They are almost like milestones that when your channel gets to certain sizes, you can enjoy these rewards that we have waiting for wealth engineers. So the first one, or the first notable one, is at rank 5. It is the first tool that we give to our wealth engineers. It's a fancy little USB stick. It's got all our video collateral on there to make prospecting and connecting people a lot easier, because it's got all our video collateral on there, and that little device plugs into everything. At rank 7, we spend 17,000 Rand on business cards. One set of business cards for you. Who would spend 17,000 Rand on business cards? I don't think people would even spend 1,700 Rand on business cards, right? And so you might think, why on earth would you want to spend that amount of money on business cards? Because business and entrepreneurship often relies on creating a good first impression. I often say to the audience, imagine I was wearing my pajamas, because that's just the most comfortable clothes I have, is my pajamas, right? And I had my pajamas, I didn't do my hair, I was in slip-slops. What impression would that create if I stood up here giving a presentation that stage? See, the one lady's shaking her head going, I wouldn't have waited, hung around. I would have left, right? And so first impressions are very important. The business cards serve that purpose. When you put a 17,000 Rand business card down on the table, it creates a wonderful first impression. It increases your credibility, and people listen to you more intently when you tell them about this business called DuePoint. At rank 9, we take you and your family to our international conference. So it's business class trips to a 5-star luxury resort, and it's an all expenses paid trip. And you get to enjoy this every single year for the rest of your life. The record is 5 months to getting to rank 9. So I want you to imagine yourself with your toes in the sand while you watch the experience that we've had over the last couple of years taking our rank 9s overseas. Because this could be you. It's available for every single person here this evening. Paul's in charge of lighting. Thank you, Paul. Like I said, one individual got from 0 to rank 9 in the space of 5 months. That's when you're earning in excess of 20,000 Rand. You're going on this international holiday every single month, and you've got 1,000 products in your channel. 2 ranks later, we spend R250,000 buying you a brand new car, a car in the garage, brand new, no debit order at the end of the month. Can you see that we're serious, that we honestly want to try get you to a point where you do not have any debt, where you don't even have to worry about spending money on a holiday every single year, when you don't have to worry about the car that's in your garage. Right? And this is still early in the rewards program. We had rank 11. Wealth engineers have got to rank 11 in the space of 2 years, and the program goes up to rank 28, and it gets better with every rank. So imagine what happens at rank 28 when you get there. Right? Will you be in this business for 20 years, 25 years to see that become a reality for yourself? So that is the rewards program. Our next wealth engineer that we're showcasing is in Port Shepstone, KZN. So he's not here this evening, but he's been so very kind to send some videos up for us. So this is probably one of the most technically gifted wealth engineers we have, because no one's ever sent us videos. So it's Andile Mzalemu. He's been in the business for 7 months. The value of his channel sitting at close to 5,000 Rand. He's got 190 people in. He's only put 13 people in on his first point. Do you see the value if you leverage duplication in your business? Right? And something that I often used to address often in the presentations was quality. If you go out, I always compare going out and prospecting, you're building your board of directors or your board of executives. If you're going to go out and desperately just connect anyone into the business, as opposed to being discerning about who you bring into the business, that's going to affect your duplication, right? If you can bring in resourceful people that you know will thrive as DuePoint wealth engineers, you will see your channel grow like Andile's channel has. So let's hear what he has to say for us.
My name is Andile Mzalemu. I'm from Kamalake in Port Shepstone. I'm working part-time, and the money that I'm earning there is not enough to cover all my expenses. So I met Nkosi Sibiya from Pietermaritzburg, who told me about DuePoint. At first, I didn't pay attention to what he was saying about DuePoint because I was busy with the previous network that I was with by that time. But he persisted. He phoned me now and then telling me about DuePoint, and then eventually I took my time and watched the presentation video, and I was sold because I saw so exciting things there, from compensation plan to rewards, overseas trip, rank 11 car. All those things took my attention, and then I decided to join the DuePoint business, which is the best in the country. Then after joining, I worked the business. I persisted, even though it was not easy, it was hard, but I persisted. I approached people, showing them the presentation video on WhatsApp. I was sending out to people all over the country. Some of them took the opportunity and some of them rejected me, but then I persisted, and then I started to introduce serious people who did exactly what was told to do. Then I started earning this month. To say, I don't know how it feels to be on rank 1 because I skipped it. I just jumped to rank 2, and then I earned double bonuses. And that was so exciting because the kind of money I received has never been deposited into my account before, ever since I started earning. Another thing I like about DuePoint is that it doesn't discriminate anyone. Everyone can do DuePoint because it doesn't require capital, it doesn't require experience, no qualifications required as well, and there are no limitations on earnings. You can earn as much as you can, as long as you introduce people to the business and you help them to duplicate. You can earn a fortune here. I started to earn, my life is changing as well, because as I earned, I managed to buy groceries at home, which was not happening before. So to people out there who are not sure whether to join DuePoint or not, I would encourage them to join, because firstly, the company is legitimate. It is registered at the SA and Direct Marketing Association, and it has the FSP number. The head office is in Johannesburg, in Bryanston, so everything is legitimate. So people must not suffer out there while there is an opportunity like this. People must take this tool and use it. To my team out there, let's keep on pushing, guys. No matter what, we mustn't look back. We must press forward all the time and not be discouraged by negative people out there. And I would like to recognize Mr. Nkosi Sibiya in Pietermaritzburg. Thanks for introducing me to this business, Mr. And I would like to recognize Mr. Mapillion Ndlovu, Mr. Sandile Mkhize, Mr. Mkhonzeni Jali, and our leaders, Mr. Patrick and Pumelutuli in Johannesburg. Let's keep on working together as a team. Thank you.
such an awesomely versed testimony. You could swear I would have coached him. I mean, but you can see why he's doing so well, because he understands the benefits of the business so well. I was speaking to Brendan, I wasn't teasing Brendan, I was speaking to Brendan saying, it was like he almost had an auto cue there, but he understands the business so well. So a shout out to Andile, well done. We are looking at your business with great interest to see how far you go. Andile is, of course, sitting and hosting a bunch of people in his channel down in Port Shepstone, so we're very excited. I don't know if you heard the roosters in the background, right? Anyone can do this business, right? And Andile is testament to that. So wonderful work from Andile, well done. Our business is not only built on returns and rewards. When we talk about social impact, it's not about only empowering people by allowing them to earn a return. As I said at the beginning of the presentation, we have got a financially based products here at DuePoint, and you're free to consider any one of these products. So I'm going to go through them pretty quickly, because this format that we do this evening, we go through the products a little faster than normal, but they are straightforward products, and they've been designed with necessity in mind. Often people would disparage insurance products, right? But if you look at any wealthy person, I promise you, they've got insurance for every aspect of their life, because if you spend decades building asset value, you don't want one unfortunate event to wipe those assets out. And so insurance becomes a massive necessity in people's lives when you start sacrificing time in building assets. And so that's what our products speak to. They talk about wealth creation. Number one is Access Wealth. Access Wealth is an investment and insurance product rolled into one. It's going to cost you only 324 Rand. 100 Rand goes into an investment every single month. You get 120,000 Rands worth of personal accident death cover with that investment. Then we've got Wealth Guard. Wealth Guard is only personal accident death cover, but for only 249 Rand, you get R1,000,000 worth of accident death cover. The beauty of all our products is that they're accessible to everybody over the age of 18, right? And so anyone can get in. It doesn't matter what your health status is. It doesn't matter what your age is. You can get in on the product without any discrimination. The premium doesn't go up, right? And so the products are non-discriminatory and accessible to everyone. Family Wealth is a funeral plan product for the whole family. It starts at 299 Rand. It gives you 20,000 Rands worth of funeral cover. It also gives the principal member 10,000 Rands worth of debt protection, and it covers up to 5 family members. And you can increase the cover. You can increase the amount of members of your family that you want to put on there. And on this note, Elaine, can I ask you to come up just to share your experience of the claim? We didn't discuss that. So Elaine is one of the only wealth engineer that's joined us for Tell All Tuesday that unfortunately had the unfortunate event of your uncle passing away a couple of weeks ago. And so Elaine had to get together all the documents ready for her claim. But what was your experience of that? You actually touched on it in the beginning of your testimony. You said you were looking for funeral cover when Pumi turned the tables on you.
That's correct.
So unfortunately, your uncle passed away in Hammanskraal. He was sick. Explain to everyone just the necessity of perhaps the product, what it's meant to you in your life, and the claim process for you.
Okay, I must say I'm very fortunate that I just joined the business in 6 months and I was able to claim. After completing the documents and submitting the correct documents to DuePoint, my claim was paid within 24 hours. So, yeah. What DuePoint promise, DuePoint delivers.
Thank you. And it's as simple as that, right? When you put in a claim, that's all you want to know, that it's getting paid quickly. And so I thought that was just some great testimony on your part, just to show the necessity of the products that we have in our business. And then finally, we've got Wealth Points. Wealth Points is a lifestyle type of product. It's financially natured because what it aims to do is reduce your cost of living. So think about that money you spend every single month habitually, right? And we call it our cost of living every single month. We've partnered with a number of businesses that have offered us discounts and services. And our Wealth Points members get to share in those discounts immediately. We've just signed on Cell C. They've given us between 10 and 20% off of all airtime and data. through the partnership that we have with them. So go take a look at that product. There's a whole plethora of different partners in that product. So those are the products. You're free to consider any one of them. You can take out all 4 of them if they speak to you with regards to necessity. We've got more information on our website, as well as a lot more in-depth reviews on YouTube. Then, for those of you that thought getting to millionaire status took too long when you looked at our 5-year plan, who thought that, by the way? Who thought, oh no, that 5-year projection took too long to make money? No one? Okay, well, for the people that typically are the 1%ers that go, well, I need to do more than this. I'm going to go out and connect 5 people a day or 10 people a week or whatever it is. We have an incentive for you. It's called the 365 Challenge, where we challenge you to be able to connect on average 1 person a day for the next 365 days from when you become a wealth engineer. So at the end of 365 days, if you've connected 365 people, you will probably be around rank 12 or 13. You would have the holiday, the business cards, you'll have all the rank up checks, you'll have the car in your garage, you'll be earning 30, 40, maybe 50,000 Rand a month. And on top of that, we're going to give you 365,000 Rand as a cash check to say, well done for doing it in 365 days. Think back to our remuneration plan when we spoke about the mechanics of the rewards. What did we pay for 1 person on your first point? 55 Rand. Here it's 1,000 Rand that you get extra on top of that, right? And so this is a challenge that maybe at first glance you look at it and you go, phew, that sounds difficult. That sounds difficult. It's almost like saying, guys, we're doing a quest to Mount Everest. Who wants to come along? We'll give you 500,000 Rand if you get to the summit with us, right? But this is where we bring in our expert. So we've got a very experienced wealth engineer, businessman, that's going to come share his strategy to tackling the 365 challenge. Rulo Fari, please come up. So as you can see, Rulof has got, oh goodness, what's happening with your writing there? Okay, let's go back a bit there. You can't really read it. So Rulof, you can see we've just had our awards ceremony. 2018, they were awarded the most profitable channel at DuePoint, as well as having the highest average BPQ. So in their business, they've got the highest percentage of people that pay successfully in their channel. So the man knows what he's talking about. He knows how to build a channel. And he was very happy to see a quest like this 365 challenge being presented. So let's hear what you have to say.
Thank you. Good evening, and all the people out there. 365, yeah, it's when it was launched, we had our doubts, we had our reservations. I mean, 365, it's a lot of people. But the more we actually studied it, the more we actually had a look at it, it's doable. And that's the first thing that you need to realize. Go and really investigate it and see what is required for you to achieve that at the end of the day. Because if you start believing that you can actually do that, then it's just a how. It's just how are you going to do it at the end of the day. Now, when you look at 365, it's so easy to say 365, but what does it really give you if you do achieve the 365? Rob touched on it. It makes you financially independent in 1 single year. It gives you the car without the debit order. It gives you the annual holidays with your family, 5-star business class flights, etc., etc. 365, 12 months of effort. I'm 65 years old. I've never ever been offered anything like this. I promise you. I've been around for a long time. Well, maybe when my wife asked me to get married. So it's just unbelievable when you hear it the first time. And I think the biggest problem with 365 is that, we've been knocked around so many times in our lives. And we've been put down, you're not worth it, and it's not for you. Go back and do your thing. Don't talk with us. We will make the call. We'll make the decisions, etc. And then all of a sudden, somebody comes along and says, do this. And do it for 365 days. And guess what? And we'll pay you a bonus of 365,000 Rand. Now, I'm one of those people, I love visualizing things. I love putting pictures to it, etc. And it's, I spend like the half an hour before I go to sleep. That's where I visualize what's going to happen the next day, the things that I need to do. And part of my visualization now is that 365,000 appearing in my bank account. I can see it. Get that statement and you see there's 365 as one single lump sum coming into your bank account. Now, how many of you attended the Dev seminar on Saturday or watched that live stream? If you didn't, go back and watch it. It was absolutely awesome. And one of the things in there, the whole thing is about habits. And one of the things in there is where you do something that's visual, where you can actually see what you're doing. Because making telephone calls, you can't really see that. And like that was the example that they used. So every time you make a telephone call, you put a marble into a glass bottle. Now, I'm doing it a little bit different. I actually opened myself a bank account. How many of you know about Time Bank? I'm doing a little bit of free advertising, yeah? You walk in there, any Pick and Pay, and you open a bank account in 4 minutes. No documents, no nothing, just your fingerprints, your ID number, and your cell phone number. That's basically it. No monthly fees. Now, my plan with this is I've got something special that I want to buy. It's going to cost about 10,000 bucks. It's for my garage. Okay, now I just think it's fair that I should pay for it myself. So it's from me to me. It's going to be one of those gifts. And what I said is that every time I put a new person on my first point, I'm going to put 30 bucks into that bank account. I've got internet banking on it, so I can go every day and I can visually see how that amount is growing. Every time I put somebody in there, I add 30 Rand to my bank account. It actually has a special little thing. It's called Target Save. So you've got a running part of your account and then the Target Save. So that is where that money is going in. I can see it grow every time I put somebody on my first point. Okay, now why do I do that? It's purely to see now I'm already achieving it. Because it's not 365 days down the line. It's now. I can see what I'm doing now. And it's very rewarding. Because when you open that account and you see that account growing, and I can see my 10,000 thingy coming closer and closer and closer. And but it all starts, and again, going back to the training on Saturday, a decision is instantaneous. You can make it immediately. As you're sitting here tonight, you can make that decision. And you can say, I'm in it. Okay, I'm in it. You see, being in the business doesn't mean that you're in the 365 challenge. You still need to commit to that. So please, if you come and greet me from now on in the future for the next 365 days, I want to hear it, I'm in it. Okay, and I want you to go home tonight. When you go home, you phone your lead wealth engineer and you say, I'm in it. Tell me your status. Are you in it or are you just hanging around? I want you there with me. I want you to walk the walk with me for 365 days. I want to know that you're going to do it. Okay, and then the second thing is you're in it to win it. Don't just go and say, okay, I'm committed to do it. Go out there and seriously give it your all. 365 days, guys, it's not that long. Can you remember Christmas 2017? It was like the other day. It was like yesterday. 365 is going to go like that. And just imagine 365 when you get to the end of the road and you check your bank account and it's sitting there, 365. Do you know how many problems you can make go away? Huh? And that's not it, because then you're already, like Rob said, then you're already sitting on around about 50,000 Rand a month. And you have the holidays and all the other nice stuff. It's just a nice bonus on top of it. You know, if you calculate, that's 30,000 Rand a month. How many people in South Africa would give what to earn 30,000 Rand a month? That's just what you're going to get additional if you're looking at a monthly income. So yeah, the important thing is commit. I want to do it. How do you do it? It's through regular daily activities, doing it every day. Don't skip a day. Say, that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it every day, even if it kills me. And I promise you it won't. Okay? But at the end of the day, we're going to be together as a small exclusive club of people saying, I achieved the 365. We'd love to see you all there. Thank you.
Thank you, Roelof. I wonder how many minds you've changed. It starts with a belief, right? It's just that awareness of, when I look at that, do I go, it's impossible? Or do I look at it and go, no, that's not for me. That's for the wealth engineers that are more capable than me. Start with that. Don't be scared of that, but challenge it and go, well, this is all I need to do to get that belief on my side. 365 days of sacrifice is not a lot. Right? I think comrades training takes more than that, and you don't get anything. So thank you, Roelof. That's great. What is the decision? So beyond 365 for our guests this evening, the decision for you might be, yes, I want to be a wealth engineer, but I want to ask you another question. How are you going to fit DuePoint into your life practically? Because I know it is easy to make a decision that you want something, that you want to change your life, you want to be financially free, all those nice little buzzwords that we bandy about so easily. But what does your life look like if you suddenly make a commitment to DuePoint? What do you sacrifice? I know everybody's busy. If you've got kids, you're super busy. Where do you find the time? You have to make that practical decision as to where DuePoint suddenly now fits into your week, every week, going forward until you meet the aspirations that will change your life. Otherwise, you're just going to carry on doing the same thing, right? And we don't want that. We want change. So what change do you make at home? A little bit of background on our business quickly. Like I said, DuePoint is a nearly 70-year-old business. Well, not 70-year-old business. Constantia's the 70-year-old business. DuePoint is the division. We are a registered insurance company. We take credibility very seriously here at DuePoint. The people that join this business, you have to believe in this business. Right? And so luckily, fortunately, you're partnering with a business that you can be proud to partner with, because we are regulated, we're audited, we're listed on the Joburg Stock Exchange, we're part of the DSA, the DMA, right? We are a very credible business. We take ethics very seriously here at DuePoint. And so for once, you can say you're joining a business where you don't have to worry, right? I want you to go investigate the business so that you do grow that belief in this business that you're going to become a proponent of. When you look into someone else's eyes and say, I've got a business for you, they're going to see whether you're in it for your own self-interest or whether you actually believe this business can have the social impact that we so aspire to creating. There's the FSP number that we operate under. We've got our financial licenses on display for you in the foyer above the water cooler. You can go to our website. You'll see them there. You can go to the FSCA website, type in Constantia. You'll see all the licenses come up. A reminder of the Durban encounter that I'm doing on the 9th of March. I'm going down to KZN. I'm sure I'm going to see Andile and his team there. Who else am I going to see in KZN? Who would like to start generating income out of a particular province? My KZN business is making me this much money every single month. My Gauteng business is making me this much money every single month. My Western Cape business is making me. We do these encounters around the country. They are wonderful opportunities to allow me to come help you build your channels in those provinces. All you have to do is make a list and contact the list and see who you can get to the encounter. It's free. All you have to do is go online and just register yourself and your guests. It's as simple as that, and show up. We will do the rest of the work. It's about a 3-hour business seminar that we do. I promise you it'll entrench those people into your channel. All right, so do that now. The event is a couple of weeks away. Do it now, because when we get to capacity, that's it. There won't be any seats left. Right? So make sure that you book as quickly as you can for you and your guests. And with that, I thank you for your time this evening. For everyone watching on the live stream, and Dile's team, thank you for your time. My wish is that everyone will have a prosperous year in 2019.
Thank you.
It's a wish. It's a wish. That's all. I can't make you do it. Right? That's the problem. That is my greatest frustration. When you become a wealth engineer, you will share in that frustration, because you will have people that join your business that have the necessity of creating income that just, they fall to apathy. They give in to apathy. They don't do anything. And you wonder why, right? And so do not be like those people. Be one of those people that go out and make 29 prosperous when the rest of the country, and I'm telling you now, the rest of the country is going to be suffering. And that's why we have this need for social impact in our business, right? So I'm giving you the mandate to become part of the solution, or you're part of the problem. That's my invitation to you. And it turns into a year of prosperity. So good luck. Thank you.